This 2018 Lexus LC500 is $105,000. Now let me tell you, there are a lot of dedicated performance cars for that much money. This isn't one of them. Lexus says this is a grand touring vehicle, and it might be a little bit of a cop-out for making a car that's a little too heavy and perhaps doesn't have a whole lot of power, but you know what? It works. It's really good, and that grand touring name fits it perfectly. Don't get me wrong, this 471 horsepower 5-liter V8 is a very powerful engine. But the car weighs 4,300 pounds, and that is SUV territory as far as size. Now, it's managed extremely well with the new 10-speed automatic transmission, and it's very, very good. The gear ratios are tight, and it manages this engine much better than in the RCF or in the GSF. The shifts are faster, they're smoother, and their paddle shifters are much more responsive than on the other cars. It's a unique experience in the LC500, even though what's under the hood is similar to what we've driven in the other cars. What separates the LC from other Lexus vehicles with this engine, as well as just other cars in this price range in general, is its exhaust note. The sweet, sweet exhaust system of this LC500 just exemplifies what a luxurious V8 should sound like. It doesn't get old when you rev the engine, so it's louder in the more aggressive driving modes, and it's quieter in the less aggressive driving modes. The one downside is that it's not independently adjustable from those modes. So in a Porsche 911 or a Jaguar F-Type, you can hit a loud button. There's an exhaust button you can hit that opens up the flaps, and then you're good to go in the not stealth mode at all. This, though, it's only variable in those driving modes. We wish that was taken out so you could drive around with the comfort suspension but have that exhaust wailing. The LC might not win many races, but in terms of interiors, this is where I want to be for this much money. The luxuriousness of the interior is unparalleled with anything else in its price range. It's almost like being in a concept car interior. There are a few buttons here and there that are pulled from other Lexus vehicles, but otherwise, just the stitching on the door panel and the design and these seats, it just feels like you're in something special. And this is where that grand touring makes more sense. This is a very comfortable car. These seats are comfortable, and there's a lot of room. I'm about 6 feet tall, and this is a very comfortable car to spend a lot of time. I spent a total 4 hours on a small weekend getaway in this car, and I did not feel fatigued at either end of the one-way trip, and it was in a lot of traffic and a lot of highway driving. This car feels at ease on the highway, especially in comfort mode, where the adaptive suspension is softened and the steering is softened, and you also get the benefits of the 10-speed automatic on the highway, where at around 65 miles an hour, that engine is just barely doing any work at probably around 13 to 1400 RPM. And that makes it a very relaxed experience. It is just overall, this is a car that you can pop on the highway and just go for long distances. And part of that is helped by the 21-gallon fuel tank. Now, with a 26 miles per gallon highway rating and that 21-gallon tank, you can stretch for 500 miles plus between fill-ups. An advantage the LC has compared with its two-seater competitors is that it has a back seat. Now, granted, when I'm in my most comfortable seating position, there's no back seat room. But I hauled around my niece and nephew this weekend, and at 7 and 10 years old, they were able to fit back there. After 15 minutes of driving, though, when they got out, oh man, did I hear it. They were stretching and complaining, and it was not nice. But it was doable, and it got them around, and you can't do that in some of the competitors. Because the LC is not a track car or a dedicated performance or sports car, I have a hard time looking past its goofy multimedia system because I want to spend a lot of time in this car. I want to take it for long drives, but the multimedia system is the same touchpad system in other Lexus vehicles like the RC Coupe and the NX SUV, and it just doesn't work that well. It's very hard to use while driving, and the screen layout is very confusing. I don't typically spend a lot of time talking about styling, exterior styling, because honestly, you can look at the car and immediately determine, oh, that looks good, or oh, I don't like the way that looks. But this car is different. This is a $100,000 car that looks like a $200,000 car. I mean, just all of the details, front to back, the overall shape, the long nose and the short deck, and all of the curves and the little highlights, you know, the carbon fiber roof, which is optional, and then some of the chrome, matte chrome trim, it stands out. And if you drive this, you're gonna know that because people are gonna stop you at the gas station. They're gonna wave to you as you roll down your neighborhood. They're gonna stare and point, and they're gonna suck a lot of your time asking what this is. So even though it's not the fastest car in its class, it's certainly the prettiest. And at $100,000, I still think you're getting a lot for your money because you buy this because you like the way it makes you feel. And damn, it feels good driving this car.